Moon. Ugh. All right. Good morning. Like, of course. Guys, I got to tell you, this week has been one for the books. Give me a second. You know what I love? I love like go live and then my computer's like, you know what I think Jerry really wants to do? You know what I think would be perfect right now? Let's close all of his Chrome tabs, all of them. Let's just end the stream, but not really end the stream. Let's just terminate this thing. That's what he wants. Jesus, this week, guys, I got to tell you, the meme of the week today is going to be Wicked on brand. Give me a second, please. Allow me a moment to compose myself as we get this sorted out. This hot mess express here. My God, killing me, Smalls. All right, hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Hello. All right. Good morning, everybody. I have no idea where this is going to go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. That was a brief hot mess express there. Seriously. All right, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. If you are looking for the top cyber threat intelligence insights that you can apply today, tomorrow, and long-term in your career, welcome to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast presented by Simply Cyber. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and no matter what, we will be putting our head down and plowing forward over the next hour, giving you all those insights that you need in order to be a practitioner. If you're looking to break into the industry, you will be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? This show right here is the answer. On top of that, if you are a practitioner, you know dang well how important it is to stay current on all of your going-ons in the industry. So super pumped for you. As always, it's a 1-hour show, but 30 minutes. I would say is totally on brand for the news stuff, right? So an instructor-led webinar. Go ahead and get those CPEs. Say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. File it away once a year. Count the number of screenshots. Divide by 2, and that's how many you got going here. As always, I do want to say thank you, guys. I got to tell you, without you guys, Mary Ellen, Kennel, Mara Levy, Phil Stafford, Devin Grady, the mods, Kimberly, Justin Gold, Dan, Casually Joseph when he wakes up, like Lupe Peterman, long timer. I got to tell you, without you guys, I might have just pushed away from the desk. You know what I mean? Just called it. You know what? This week, I thought it was just Monday. It's this week. But you know what? You guys got me over the hump. Thank you very much. Before we get into the show, I want to say holla, holla, holla at the stream sponsors. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to bring the heat to you. Let's start with anti-siphon training. Oh, boy, look at this. Tanya Janka, my friend, She Hacks Purple, putting together a workshop, the OWASP API Security Top 10 2023 with Tanya Janka. She is roundly considered a leading expert in application security. She's a really nice person as well, great professional. Right now, you can take this training. This workshop is on September 19th. Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's a 4-hour course, so you are carving up your Friday in order to focus on skilling up for yourself. I'm telling you, if you are remotely interested in pen testing, secure software development, understanding how APIs can be weaponized. Maybe you're looking to be a detection engineer and understanding how you could write detections for API. You're going to get all of it from Tanya here. So go check this out. Still time to register. It is a live training. You can get up to 4 CPEs. You get a certificate of completion. Go check this out. Great opportunity from Anti-Siphon Training. Always bringing the heat. Do I even have a play card up? Yeah, I do. Okay. As always, I want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber Solutions, their Fortify 365 solution. Thanks, Elliot Matisse. I feel you. I feel you guys. Dude, if you run Microsoft 365 and you haven't properly configured your environment, there's no reason to have not done that. Take an opportunity, connect with Eric Taylor at fortify365.com and get on a call with them and talk about your particular situation. With configuration control and our controls that can be configured, conditional access, appropriate resourcing, permissions, all of these things can be configured. You set them up once and then they're technical controls. They just continue to operate whether you're there or not. This is a great opportunity. You're already paying for it. So don't miss this opportunity, right? Don't be the guy who's like, oh man, we got compromised because of crappy controls. You don't want management being like, don't we pay for this? Why did we get impacted? Don't we pay for them? And then you're going to have to explain yourself. Don't do that. Fortify365.com today. Now, every day of the week has a special segment. And I think, yes, Thursdays is What's Your Meme Thursday. Now, I don't know. I always like asking people. Elliot Matisse likes playing this game. If you would like to guess what you think the meme of the week is associated with, go ahead and drop that in chat right now. This guy, Dan Reardon, makes a custom meme for the show every single Thursday. And today, I saw it. He sent it to me last night. I started laughing out loud. It is so good, and it's so accurate. Dan outdoes himself. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's at the mid-roll. Of course, we have jaw jacking at the top of the hour with my friend, Daniel Lowry. If you caught his show last night, Daniel, After Dark, he had Tyler Ramsby on. Great show last night. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Woo! All right, guys. Hey, if you're here for the first time, drop a hashtag first timer. Hashtag first timer. We got Augusta Delgado turning on the lurker mode as he's driving. Got that check. Hashtag first timer. We have a special sound effect, special emote. Let's hear from Threat Locker really quickly, and then we are going to get into the news. While this ad's running, I'm going to sit on the ground, cross-legged style, and do like ohms and like recenter my chi. I tell you guys, I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. Thank you so much, Threat Locker. Of course, we'll have Delete Me at the mid-roll. I don't know what this episode's going to be like, guys. I have no idea where it's going to go. All right, hey, Berg is working while he listens. I like that. Hope everyone's good. Jesse Johnson, 2 cyber chicks yesterday, Tyler Ramsby, Daniel After Dark last night. It's all about good stuff, guys. You know what? I try to be as frustrated as I get. I do try to put things in perspective. I'm standing up right now. Nothing hurts on my body, beyond the normal aches and pains of a 45-year-old. My kids are healthy. My wife is healthy. Life's good, okay? Everything in perspective. So, yeah. Rebalance, y'all. All right, let's get ready. Let's cook. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome way. Mary Ellen Kendall, your daughter's there.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. I always like doing that for her. All right, let's party.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Insight Partners warns thousands after ransomware breach. Venture capital and private equity firm Insight Partners is notifying 12,657 people that their data was stolen in a ransomware attack following a social engineering breach in October of 2024. This included banking, tax, employee, and investor information before the firm encrypted servers in January. Insight Partners is now offering affected individuals credit and identity monitoring. No ransomware group has claimed responsibility.
All right. Okay. Whatever. You get some identity theft protection. That's great. Yeah. All right. Let's see. VC firm getting popped. Whatever. I mean, basically, when you have enough money, and you can just buy all the things you want, at that point you have excess money. So a popular thing, instead of sticking it in the S&P 500 or whatever, is to invest in companies, right? We all know this. That's what this organization does. VCs, venture capitalists, they pool large amounts of money and then buy businesses or invest in businesses, right? Series A funding, Series B funding. Whoa, Doom Kraken's here for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, can we, if you're a squad member, welcome to the party, Doom Kraken. Welcome to the party, pal. I also want to let everyone know, Callan, my son Callan, gave me $2 yesterday and asked me to make him a squad member. We tried to do it. I don't know. It's because he's a minor. He can't do it, but he didn't have the option to join. But he wants to be part of the squad, y'all, just so you know. He's at school right now, too, so you can't dig into that. Okay, so here's my thing. I want to know, when a VC firm gets cracked and the data gets exfilled, what data gets compromised? Because they said affected individuals, they'll pay for a year of identity theft protection. Big deal. Like, when I think of VCs and the information they have, I don't think of information of individuals. I think of them having information on businesses, right? Insight Partners manages $90 billion in regulatory assets. Okay. 800 software and tech startups. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the play. What information did they have? I mean, maybe they got, all right, here we go. They got bank and tax information, personal information of current and former employees, and information related to partners. Okay, so this is like an internal problem. Basically, the staff, the group, anyone who worked there, anyone associated with it, internally got their data compromised. I mean, it's not uncommon for HR to hold data on people. Obviously, they have to pay employees, so they need banking information. They need, where to send the checks, where to mail stuff. So, like, this all makes sense. I don't think it's terrible, really. I mean, obviously, it's not great, but for this company, like, I don't know. They manage $90 billion in regulatory assets. I don't think the, paying for, like, to me, this is like the cost of doing business for this group. They're going to keep on moving. The only problem would be if they had encrypted their data and they were unable to access their systems. But for the most part, there's a lot of like wheeling and dealing and email and deals and stuff like that. This is way less impactful than a manufacturing company getting hit. Like, we saw Jaguar is currently dealing with an incident and they are losing $98 million a day. This VC firm is just going to go order an extra round of half-calf double mocha stuffed lattes and friggin' move on. So I don't know. I'm not being judgmental. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, they have money, they suck. Like, it just, this is like less of an issue. It says in the story that they were compromised through a sophisticated social engineering technique. Dude, the term sophisticated is so subjective. If I told my Aunt Dorothea what a click fix attack sequence looked like, she'd probably say that's sophisticated. But for you and I, that is not sophisticated. So don't read into the, or don't make assumptions when you read like sophisticated. An employee probably fell for click fix or something like that. Okay. If you do work for one of these firms and stuff like that, what GRC Mafia people, when I talk about doing your threat landscape, your threat modeling, think about your own business and how you would invest in cybersecurity controls to protect it. A manufacturing company got way more, risk impact from a ransomware attack than a VC firm. So I would invest less in that. That doesn't mean you shouldn't protect from ransomware. It just means the impact is slightly less. All right, let's keep cooking.
Spider Gang feigns retirement, breaks into bank instead. Scattered Spider, the group that recently claimed.
I am sorry. Cryptic, CRIPTIC. Welcome to the party, pal. Cryptic. Welcome to the party, pal. Cryptic. Let me go here. This is for Cryptic and for Doom Kraken. Here's your emotes. If you guys, squad members, can drop some John McClane on Cryptic and Doom Kraken. All right. And Anthony Hanos, watching from his ethical hacking class, longtime listener, first-time caller. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, pal. Jaguar. Okay.
It was retiring, has appeared to infiltrate a U.S. bank, according to researchers at ReliaQuest. The attackers appear to have gained access by social engineering an executive's Microsoft Entra ID account, then moved laterally through Citrix, VPN, and VMware systems, stealing credentials and targeting data in Snowflake and AWS. Consumer Reports calls.
All right. Scattered Spider back on the scene. Now, remember, Scattered Spider is the group that attacked MGM Resorts. They're believed to be younger. They do attack help desk, right, as kind of their initial infection point. And they're attacking a bank. You know what? The famous bank robber, Willie Sutton, 40-year robbery career, back when you could be a bank robber and not immediately get taken down, right? I mean, again, I'm not trying to promote bank robbery, but they asked him why he robbed banks, and he said famously, because that's where the money is. Okay? So Scattered Spider, cutting out the middleman, going straight for the, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Going right for the straight cash, homie. Okay?
Straight cash, homie.
So they went after a executive at the bank, compromised his Entra ID. That just means they got his don't let the fancy terms throw you for a loop. Probably do oh my god, what's the term? Like they probably have a hybrid environment, and what's it called when you Jesus, DJ BSEC or anyone, what's it called when the credentials are they're the same on-prem as in the cloud? There's a term for it. I can't believe I can't think of this friggin' term right now. It's not copied up, but whatever, this week, dude. All right, so Shiny Hunters, Scattered Spider, Lapsus, they all have like a bit of a loose affiliation crew called the Calm, right? And they share stuff. Now, I want to tell you, no, not hybrid. Sync. Yes, thank you. Sync. Jesus, guys. The credentials are synced. So if you get someone's, thank you everybody in chat. If you get into their M365 environment and it's, the creds are synced, you can, access other things if you get into their on-prem. So I'm going to tell you two things. One, any, and that's what your firewall rules are right now. You got big problems. Any cyber criminal, financially motivated threat actor, whether you are Scattered Spider, Black Matter, Alfie, Dark Side, whatever, you rebrand it, you can go into retirement. Allegedly, Alfie did the Change Healthcare, and they announced they're going into retirement, and they offloaded some stuff into Ransom Hub threat actor group, who I haven't heard from in a minute. here's the deal, dude. The money is too good. You can go off and play and retire, but if you piss through all that money, you know what? You've got a particular set of skills, Cyber Liam Neeson, that makes you a lot of money. So they're never really retired. I just think of them as more going dormant for a bit to go spend their money and go mess around. But at the end of the day, they're going to come back. I would say, financial services industry are always on the alert for cyber attacks. A lot of, big Fortune 50 financial companies actually have in-house pen testers and red teamers for that reason. So anyways, like, big deal. Like, Scattered Spider's back. Be mindful of that. Let's see how they got him. It says they got him in their usual manner, but it doesn't detail that. If I had to say, it was calling help desk and getting them trick. Oh my God. All right. Yep. And they went through and they compromised their VMware infrastructure. All right. I got to tell you two things here. Okay. I went to a conference in Columbia, SC Kick. Devin Grady was there. He heard this too. Okay. Rhonda Rummerfield was there too. She heard it. And they're in chat right now. Okay. Listen, I heard an actual phone call. It was recreated by actors, but it was the transcript being read. Okay. Threat actor, I believe it was Lapsus, calls the help desk, okay? And the help desk person says, "Hello, can I help you?" And they said, "Yeah, my name is, executive. I'm trying to log," or they didn't say executive. They say, "Oh, I'm trying to log in. I'm new here, and I'm having trouble." And the help desk guy says, "Oh yeah, sure. Like, can you just tell me your name?" "All right, here's my name. No big deal. Able to get that off LinkedIn." "Okay, can you give me they said, like, a couple of things to verify your identity. A couple of them were PII. And then the help desk guy said, "Can you tell me who your manager is?" Tell me who your manager is, right? That seems like a pretty straightforward question. The guy on the phone says, "It's Scott. Scott Farkas." All right, little Easter egg there. Scott Farkas, okay? And then the help desk person says, "No, that's not right. Try again." And he said, "Oh, is it Tom Pine?" He said, No, try again. It starts with a C. Okay, do you see the problem here? Starts with a C. And then he's like, oh, okay. And you could tell the threat actor is like scrubbing LinkedIn, trying to figure out who this person's boss could be. And he's like, "Is it Carl Winslow?" And they're like, no, it's a woman. It's a woman. And he's like, "Oh, is it Cindy Baskins?" And he's like, yes, it's Cindy Baskins. Excellent. So, I'll go ahead and reset your password right now. Please take this as an opportunity to educate your help desk to not do that, okay? And maybe even make a friggin' note that this account was attempted to be reset and the caller had no idea who their manager was and that this is an elevated risk. Instead of friggin' walking the threat actor to the finish line and letting them fall over it, or allowing them to hang up and call back and get a different help desk person and start the ruse over again with a little bit more information, okay? That's what you need to do, whether it's Scattered Spider or Flaming Donkey or whoever. That is what you need to do. Stop. I'm not even joking, Alpha Sierra. Devin Grady and Alpha Sierra can attest what I'm saying. It was ridiculous. Pissed me off, actually.
Microsoft, hypocritical. Consumer Reports is calling out Microsoft for ending free Windows 10 support next month, saying that this will strand millions of PCs that can't run Windows 11 and pose national security risks. PIRG, iFixit, and others have joined in, arguing that users will be forced to pay $30 for extended support, buy new hardware, or face degraded security. Consumer Reports says Microsoft should provide free updates, citing survey data showing that most Windows PCs bought since 2019 are still in use and were expected to last through the next OS cycle. SonicWall warns...
All right. Oh, Ron Rummerfield with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Thank
Did
you,
we
Ron.
just become best friends?
Yep.
Let's take a look here. Oh my God. Oh, dude. Let's see what Ron. Hold on. I want to bring it up on stage. There we go. Rhonda with the super chat. Thank you, Rhonda. Wrapped up the first month in my new role. Your guidance in the Simply Cyber community have been a game changer. What you do is incredibly impactful. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. And I'm glad to hear that you're crushing it at your new role. Super awesome. All right. So Microsoft getting hit because they basically are no longer supporting this OS version. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's because I own a business now. I'm not sure I necessarily dig on, like, they announced 4 years ago that they were going to discontinue support. So I don't know, like, so I guess if you bought a computer in 2019, you're upset because you're not being supported. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like 4 years is a lot. I mean, so here's the reality, okay? In information, like in information technology, right? In IT, there's typically 3-year product life cycles, okay? Now, a lot of people let these things run longer, but in real business, it's typically 3-year refresh cycles, right? Or 5-year refresh cycles, right? DJ BSEC, what do you weigh in on this? What would you say a tech life cycle refresh is? So I think 4 years is fine. Like, I don't know, man. I don't feel as bad about this. I don't think Microsoft's doing too bad. Now, I know there's a bunch of people that are going to get screwed over, and $30 for extended support isn't that expensive. But if you have 1,000 endpoints, now we're talking $30,000, right? That's an expense you weren't expecting. Yeah, Code Brew says 3 to 5 years. That's what I feel like. I don't feel that this is outrageous. It's 4 years they gave notice, right? This makes me think of like anything where you have forever access, like, Simply Cyber Academy, right? The GRC Analyst Masterclass, all the training. You buy it once, it's forever access, right? I mean, I do add new content to it and update it, but at some point it will stop being supported and it'll still be available. But like, I don't know, man. These things have life cycles. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I don't find this outrageous by Microsoft. In fact, if anything, I would give Microsoft a bit of a attaboy for notifying 4 years ago that they were going to do this. Dude, I just saw, okay, as an example, this is slightly adjacent, but you guys know Publishers Clearinghouse? You guys know Publishers Clearinghouse? They got the big fat checks that they bring to people, and they're like, oh my God, money for life. Okay, that company just went bankrupt, and people who are getting, $5,000 a week for life, or $200,000 a year for life, they stopped getting their checks. Okay, I think that is terrible, especially since they were promised something. I think they actually have a litigation opportunity or lawsuit opportunity here, but they were given no notice. Like, the checks just stopped coming. Right? At least this one, they said, hey, in 4 years, this is going to stop working. So I'm into this. It sucks, but all right, hold on. I'm going to run a poll. You mad, bro? That's a reference from Richard Sherman to Tom Brady, by the way. You mad, bro, about Microsoft, or you okay with it? All right. I'm asking just a quick poll here. Are you mad? Just like, maybe you're not mad, but like, do you think Microsoft's being hypocritical? Do you think Microsoft's outrageous, or do you think that this is reasonable? I am curious what people think. Let me make sure I ask this question right. Are you mad at Microsoft about this end of life? Yeah. So are you on the side of Consumer Reports? Or are you on the side of Microsoft? at the end of the day, I don't think Microsoft's going to change direction on this one. Okay, let's keep going.
Customers to reset credentials. SonicWall warned customers to reset credentials after attackers accessed firewall configuration backup files in fewer than 5% of my SonicWall accounts using brute force attacks. Those exposed files contained encrypted passwords, but also details that could help exploit firewalls. SonicWall says it's blocked the attacker's access, is working with law enforcement, and published guidance for administrators to reset all passwords, keys, and tokens. The company says this wasn't ransomware and has no evidence that the stolen files were leaked online.
Yeah, that feels like an Aes Sedai from the Wheel of Time telling a truth. And if you don't know Wheel of Time, there's these like super powerful magic casters called Aes Sedai. They're women. They're like, I guess you could call them a witch, but they're not evil. Well, some of them are, but anyways, they can't lie. That's part of like the rub is they can't lie. When SonicWall says this exfil data they have no evidence to support that the exfil data has been used by criminals. Yeah, that's true. But like, let's dig a little bit underneath the surface here. Like, how do they know? Like, what are they basing that on? Did they do any research? It's hard to prove a negative, right? So whenever you hear or see like, oh, we have no evidence to support that this has been weaponized, it's like, yeah, okay, I'll carry that bucket of water about 1 foot and then put it down. Yes, cyber risk, which I was thinking that too. All right, here's the deal. SonicWall. Honestly, guys, the PR person, whoever works in PR at SonicWall, is probably the highest paid employee. They are constantly in the news for negative publicity, whether it's zero-day exploits or just getting popped and having data exfilled. So they're notifying us of an incident of an exposed firewall configuration backup files stored in my SonicWall accounts. So if you have a my SonicWall account, your firewall configuration, I assume this is some type of like cloud-based administrator portal to manage your ecosystem, right? Like I'm a Ubiquity shop, and they have a web admin panel that basically your Ubiquity gear reports out to, and you can manage your infrastructure and stuff like that. I'm assuming that's what this is. You can't really do much. Your firewall configuration is your firewall configuration. There's no update and change your firewall configuration so the threat actors don't have good information. I would say, honestly, they say that you have to reset your creds and rotate your tokens. That sucks, but it is what it is, guys. If you were looking for a final straw to move off of SonicWall, this could be it. Dude, if you have external facing, this is the TLDR. If you have external facing network devices that are SonicWall and your configurations are backed up where you can access them through my SonicWall, you have to rotate your creds and tokens. Like you're definitely taking unnecessary risk if you are not going to do that. So this sucks. This is frictionful. This is painful. Fortunately, this is less impactful to end users, right? Your networking team, or if you're large enough, the people who manage the firewall specifically, but your networking and your firewall people need to get together and change these things. Good news, bad news is that the networking device passwords are typically not updated very often. DJ BSEC confirmed this for me, but another thing that's going to be a problem is that a lot of times, in my experience, the network the account, the username and password, or the credentials to log into the networking devices are the same across the organization, because you don't use Active Directory to log into the networking devices. You terminal directly into them. So where I've seen it, it's the same. So you might have to update the password like consider the password burnt. So it's not just necessarily your internet facing assets. If you have that same password across your whole enterprise, you probably should change it because that password is compromised. So if a threat actor gets in your environment, I would imagine that they would try that password to log into devices and move laterally and start doing stuff. So this sucks, dude. This sucks. You can use Radius server to log in. This is true. So if you have a more enterprise grade credentials system, that's fine. It is cooked. It's cooked, chat. All right, let's keep going.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Drata. Leading security teams trust SafeBase by Drata to turn trust into a growth engine. It's enterprise-grade trust center.
I don't
puts
have
your security posture into one
I don't have
secure
the graphics
customer-facing
here.
portal,
This
giving
one?
buyers instant visibility into your company's continuous controls, certifications, and policies. With AI-powered questionnaire assistance, blast through inbound security questionnaires in minutes instead of days. Automate cross-functional workflows and eliminate friction. This means less manual work and faster deal cycles. Win with trust. Learn more at safebase.io.
All right. Hey, Rust Raven 919. I don't know if that's in the Eastern North Carolina area or not, but hey, welcome to the party, pal, Rust Raven.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. Hey, really quick, ending the poll from earlier. Looks like 2/3 of chat is not mad at Microsoft. So interesting. All right, guys. Hey. Shout out to all of you. I feel like even though the show started like a hot mess express, we've managed to pull up from the nosedive, and we're having a great show. We're having a nice show. Guys, shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Cyber, Threat Locker, Anti-Siphon, and wait for it, Delete Me. Guys, Delete Me. Before we get into the Simply Cyber meme of the week, let me say thank you to Delete Me. I actually have a video dropping, a nice moody produced video at 9:30 a.m. today that I don't have it set as a premiere, but it's going to be dropping, and I'm excited about it. I hope you guys dig it. Hey, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. It's easier than ever to find personal information about people online. Having your address, phone number, and family members' names hanging out on the internet can have actual consequences in the real world and make everyone vulnerable. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. My wife, my kids, my home address, my personal privacy. I'm a very extroverted person, but I do like to pick and choose my own, like who has access to my where I live. You know what I mean? So basically being a kind of a public facing figure, privacy is even more important to me. So that's why I use Delete Me. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. Thank you very much, Delete Me, and thank you all. Guys, every single day of the week has a special segment. Where's my Dan here? Yes. And Thursdays is Simply Cyber's What's Your Meme Thursday. I love this, guys. Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, bringing the heat. Been having a heck of a week, guys. This is I'm looking at it right now. This is ridiculous. All right, let's see what Dan's got for us today. There it is. This is the meme of the week. You can see Friday, Daily Cyber Threat Brief, me, and then on Monday, oh my God, it's a double shot. As always, Dan Reardon has hidden himself in the meme. This is a scene from The Never Ending Story, an amazing movie that came out in the 80s. There's Atreyu, the hero, Artax, the horse, and you can see they're best friends, and then at one point, the horse dies. This is how I feel right now. All right. Hey, thank you so much, Dan, for bringing a little bit of levity into it. Guys, get your la 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 la's on. Let's go. All right, let's continue on. Finish strong, everybody.
TA558 deploys Venom Rat. TA558, a threat group tracked as Revenge Hotels, is using AI-generated scripts in a new phishing campaign targeting hotels in Brazil and Spanish-speaking markets. According to Kaspersky, the attacks deliver Venom Rat, which is malware that can steal data, act as a proxy, and disable security tools, while also using anti-kill protections and persistence mechanisms. The phishing lures, written in Portuguese and Spanish, carry JavaScript and PowerShell loaders, with evidence that large language models generated portions of the code. The group has apparently targeted hospitality firms in Latin America since at least 2015.
All right.
CISA.
Really quick, I see Anthony Hanos is teaching an ethical hacking course, asking for some tips. For students, yeah, anybody looking to break into cybersecurity, tech skills are very, very good, but don't forget, you have to get, it's super valuable to build relationships, network, deliver into a community like Simply Cyber, but you can choose your own adventure. It's not just tech skills. Tech skills are great, but you have to do more to break in. All right, yo, TA558, which is just a threat actor that doesn't have a really cool name yet. Using AI to vibe code malware. Okay, I got to tell you guys really quick, vibe coding, it's a whole thing. Threat actors are doing it. You know, tech savvy entrepreneurs are doing it. From what I have heard, a lot of the vibe coding code is actually really vulnerable. Like, actually, so, you know, like, where is it? This anti-siphon training right here with Tanya tomorrow, this would actually be a hella good investment in yourself for 4 hours, because a lot of people are writing code now, SaaS apps, using like Cursor and these other like vibe code platforms where you just tell it what you want. And they're writing vulnerable code. They're writing code that has like foundational security vulnerabilities in it, which means there's going to be a proliferation of attacks coming out on SaaS apps, I would imagine. But yeah, so this malware that threat actors are writing using AI probably has that as well. So I could imagine, this software being compromised as well. Dude, Brazil, like Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, they have very much a healthy, vibrant hacker scene. It almost makes you think of the United States in like the mid 90s. And they're attacking things, right? I don't know what the current socioeconomic situation is, but obviously when you deal with a society that is got a demographic that is, not without means, but, kind of incentivized to want to commit crime, this is a great way to do it. Again, I don't support or endorse cybercrime. I'm just saying, like, think about it for a minute, right? If you have a skill and you can make easy money with little risk and you need money, why wouldn't you do it, right? let's see what these people do. They continue to employ phishing emails with invoice themes as the initial attack vector. And then they deliver RATs, remote access tools, via JavaScript loaders and then PowerShell downloaders. So basically, they have a phishing email with an invoice. The invoice runs JavaScript, which runs an initial dropper payload and then pulls down a second stage PowerShell downloader, which then loads the Venom rat, if I had to guess. They said a significant portion of the initial infector, which is the JavaScript, and the downloader code appears to be developed by LLMs. The LLMs definitely have kind of like a fingerprint. That's how they can do that. Remember, these LLMs typically have guardrails on them to protect them from being weaponized by threat actors. But there's tons of ways to jailbreak these LLMs. There's ways that you can spin up your own and host them locally and remove all the guardrails. So, like, the idea that the guardrails is the end-all, be-all control to prevent exploitation of these AI tools is ridiculous. Just like the threat actors, though, I would imagine defenders, us, cybersecurity professionals, would be using AI to help combat this faster and easier. For my money, and for everybody here today to share information, educate your end users to be mindful of, weird looking emails with attachments. The invoices are definitely a common attack vector. This particular exploit is exploiting a vulnerability that is 8 years old. Okay? 8 years old, y'all. Obviously, you can, there's a couple of things here, right? One, educate your end users not to fall for these things. Two, if you have a decent email security gateway, you can identify that this attachment is malicious. Sometimes it's not an attachment, but it's a link to like a OneDrive, a Dropbox, a Google Drive, or something like that, where the victim then pulls down the invoice or pulls down the fake malware loader. EDR solutions, if properly configured, can detect that this thing is running a PowerShell cradle and pulling down a malicious payload from the internet, right? So there is defense in depth here that you can look for. Also, you might be able to find, it is fileless, which means that the malware is not written to disk, but it still runs in memory. Fileless doesn't mean that it's magical and it's just in the ether. Like, it definitely is loaded in memory. So you can do that. Ooh. Not my speed, right? I do like more of the Hercules monochrome green because I'm old. But, I will say, hey, I like this look. It's dark mode. Again, I'm more into the classic Commodore 64 monochrome green, Hercules monochrome, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, though, the final thing you should know about this is a malware as a service environment as well. So it's not just one threat actor coming after you. They're actually selling access to these payloads. It's basically a malicious software as a service product.
Seeks more international involvement in cyber vulnerability. CISA plans to expand international participation.
What are we looking at
in the
here?
Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures, or CVE program, which avoided a funding lapse back in April. Assistant Executive Director Nick Anderson emphasized including global partners like NIST to improve data quality. Anderson also says management won't shift to another agency, but more U.S. agency engagement is expected.
All right.
NIST.
All right. So CISA, this has been in the news for a minute. CISA definitely wants the CVEs and the vulnerability catalog and all that. They don't want to give up they don't want to give it up. They like having control of it, but they are asking for international collaboration. Two things. One, I think international collaboration is a good idea. I think it will make the product for us a better product, a more informed product. Plus, for them, I think I don't know, my Game of Thrones hats on, hey, I know there's a bunch of new comers in here, like Rust Raven and Cryptic and stuff. Every once in a while, I do this. So go ahead and get your tinfoil hat queued up. This is based on nothing other than my gut feeling. CISA wanted to get like a NISA and other large, international consortiums involved. To me, it just smacks with, entangling them. So if there is a crisis like there was earlier in this year, and by the way, really quickly, in January, there was like a hot minute where they were talking about just eliminating the CVE program, like during the whole Doge thing. They weren't going to fund it and everything like that. And people in our industry, including me, like lost our collective mind over how bad an idea that would be. So I think CISA's like, hey, why don't we get some more partners involved? That way, if we take a hit, it's like all of our problems, not just our problem, right? So instead of a NISA taking over the vulnerability program, they can help us fund it, or, I don't know. To me, it's a little cynical, but it feels more like CISA doing contingency planning and business continuity planning. And don't get me wrong, that's all GRC mafia all day, I got pants on right now, but when you're talking about GRC stuff at this strategic level, we're wandering into pants off territory, feeling it. So go CISA. Again, I think that this is a complete, I might be reading in this too much, but to me, that's what I think of immediately when I see this type of, hey guys, can we be international partners? That way, if we can't pay rent this month, you can loan us a few bucks.
Awards more than $3 million to support cybersecurity. The U.S. Department of Commerce's National Institute of Standards and Technology, known as NIST, is awarding more than $3.3 million in 17 cooperative agreements to organizations across 13 states to address the U.S. cybersecurity workforce shortage. NIST says this leaves 514,000 job openings, with roughly 74 qualified workers per 100 jobs. The grants will fund regional alliances and multi-stakeholder partnerships to stimulate, aka RAMPS projects, that align local workforce needs with government, academia, and the private sector. 47 RAMPS communities in 25 states are now focused on developing skilled cybersecurity professionals.
All right, so basically all of these 17 organizations got $200,000 each to support cyber workforce development. I'm sure many of you in chat right now are like needing to go on Amazon and purchase a new keyboard because you just took your keyboard and whipped it across the room and smashed it into the wall. They just said in this report that there are 75 qualified applicants for every 100 jobs that are open, which would mean there's more jobs than there are people, which means all of us in chat can go get a new job right now. Just go to the job store and fill your basket with jobs. Job. Like, those numbers are ridiculous. Okay, first of all, and I love NIST. We literally have an emote here that says I heart NIST. I owe Priceless Pancake a dark mode shirt that says I heart NIST. I haven't forgot that yet. So okay. So everybody's, your new keyboard just arrived. You're good to go. 200 grand to help support this. I don't know what they're doing with the $200,000. You can see that it's a mixed bag between community colleges, Cyber Bytes Foundation. I've done work with them. They are a nonprofit that does a lot of public-private sector stuff up in Quantico. Some of these are like nonprofit organizations. I got to say, Florida is getting their flowers here. South Florida is represented. FIU represented. I don't know what you do for $200,000, honestly. I know that sounds totally tone deaf and flippant because $200,000 is a great annual salary for a family in the United States. But when you're using $200,000 to support a program to skill up people for cyber workforce, I don't know what you get for that. They're going to lead this thing called Regional Alliance and Multi-Stakeholder Partnerships to stimulate cyber workforce. Very much a acronym, mouthful. Let's see what this mission is here. Here are the ramps. This is a multi-year project that's building different communities. Is anyone familiar with this ramps thing? I'm going to drop a link to this in chat. I'm all for it. Listen, I'm for this. I'm dunking on NIST because like, what's 200 grand going to do? But I will say this. I appreciate that they're making an effort. I appreciate that they're investing money in public services in order to help skill up workforce. We are the workforce environment is bad right now, y'all. A lot of people getting laid off. There's a lot of scared money in the market from investors and not wanting to put money in the market because of the economy and tariffs and what's happening with AI and stuff like that. So this is a great sign and I appreciate it. I just don't know. I hope it's enough, I guess is what I'll say. If you are looking for work and you're looking to skill up, you may want to check out this RAMPS program to see if it can do something for you. Again, I'm a huge fan of NIST, so I don't think there's anything nefarious going on here. Okay.
Bridgestone Americas restores network connections after attack. Bridgestone Americas has restored network connections across its North and Latin American facilities after a cyber attack disrupted production earlier this month. The company says it's gradually ramping operations back to pre-attack levels while investigating the incident with third-party experts and federal law enforcement. Bridgestone hasn't disclosed how the attackers gained access, whether customer data was affected, or the financial impact.
All right. So Bridgestone reports that they still have their head in the sand, and they're like, we don't like. I feel like Bridgestone is like la 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 la. We don't like we can't tell you anything. We don't know if data's been impacted. We don't know. Again, legal gymnastics if you want. This is a manufacturing company. Yes, they make tires, Bridgestone tires. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you make tires, Xboxes, widgets, sandwiches. It doesn't matter. Okay? They make a product and they got impacted. Manufacturing firms absolutely are in the crosshairs of threat actors. Now, they are back up, but they're back up. So when they say they don't know the financial impact, I call shenanigans. Manufacturing companies know damn well how much money they make a day. That's why they operate 24/7, because they want to maximize their revenue generation. So if they were down for 2 days, I guarantee you they know the 2x value of that. Secondly, they don't know what data got compromised. Okay, whatever. Like, you know, if PII got compromised, like I care. Like they'll just throw another identity theft protection on it. They don't know how initial infection happened. Honestly, for me as a practitioner, like I'm less worried about the initial infection, more worried about recovering, getting back up and running, all that. Then lessons learned, you can go back, because I'll tell you right now, if you do not resolve the issue of how they initially got in, they will come back. They know you're going to pay, or they know like they've already invested a bit in you. So if it was a misconfigured firewall, guess what? If you don't fix it, they'll come back. If it is a credentials that they got and they can log into stuff and you don't reset the creds, guess what? The creds still work. So it's imperative for anyone in chat right now, when you're dealing with an incident, understanding how it happened is important. But in the moment, in my opinion, like when you're dealing with an active incident, it's really more about containing the problem, eradicating the problem, restoring to known good, and then making sure that your known good does include adjustments for lessons learned, and making sure that A, they can't happen again, and B, you harden your environment a bit. And this is why people, why I do this too, like dunk on you where it's like, oh, it's more expensive to deal with an incident after the fact than it is to invest in protecting it up front. It's not just about the cost and expense of dealing with the incident. Like you might have to rapidly buy, like say, like, let me just give you a quick example, right? EDR solutions, like great standard control, runs an agent on your box, whatever. Well, maybe if you invest in an EDR solution, you can shop around, you can have 3 quotes, you can get better terms because you can compete with the different vendors. You can get maybe free or not free, but like they waive the cost of having the project team deploy the EDR in your environment across a 6-month project. Okay, so let's say that's, I don't know, 300 grand a year for that. Now you deal with this incident and it's a hot mess express. And now you have a compressed timeline. You can't shop around. You can't get value. And now you're like, hey, CrowdStrike, can you come in here and do it in like a week? And they're like, sure, we can do anything you want. Just go ahead and stroke that check. So it like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, TLDR, be mindful of all of these things. And if you're manufacturing, you're definitely in the crosshairs.
Just when we haven't solved the proliferation.
All right, let's do this. I got news for everybody. I got news for you. All right. Where is it? All right, everybody. Holla, holla, holla. Thank you so very much. I have to run to Citadel to teach the next generation of cyber practitioners, but that doesn't mean we're not doing jaw jacking. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of one Daniel Lowry, the same Daniel Lowry running Daniel Lowry's IRL on Friday, the live stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The same Daniel Lowry running Daniel Lowry's After Dark program. Last night had Tyler Ramsby, phenomenal interview. Great stuff. And he's going to come and do jaw jacking with you right now. So if you have any questions for industry, career, benefits, certs, cloud, anything, ask them in chat. Drop a Q in the front so Daniel knows it's for you. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Daniel, thank you so very much. It's always great to see you. I see you behind the screen there, buddy. Until next time, stay secure. Oh, by the way, two things. At 9:30 a.m., a video is dropping, a produced video on Simply Cyber's YouTube channel. It's around data brokers and the real life impacts and risk of that. And then at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time today, Simply Cyber Firesides is happening, and we are going to be joined by Joe Marshall. If you don't know who this guy is, you are absolutely in for a treat. At a minimum, you're going to love his voice. He sounds like a baritone guy. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's so kind. He's so smart. He's so fun. And he's big into ICSOT. He's got a million stories. Come hang out with us at 4:30 p.m. Until next time, let's go jaw jack. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking.
Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome to Jaw Jacking. I love doing this for Jerry. And Jerry, thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. I hope you have a great day at the Citadel. Mold those young minds. Teach them well, good sir, as I know you will. And thanks everyone for joining me this morning. I hope you're having a great day so far. Man, when I got done with not IRL, but After Dark last night, my allergies kicked in, and I went in on a sneezing fit. That was so much fun. It was just heaven on earth, and really helped me sleep. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to be checking chat today. So if you've got your questions, you got your comments, you got stuff we want to talk about, that's what this is all about, right? We bring it here. We all get together and we go, hey, that's an interesting question. That's a really cool point. Oh, I didn't know that. I was unaware of that interesting little factoid right there. Let's go research and learn more about this. FedEx is a little obsessed with my morning pour. Last night, we did not do an evening pour, because Monster energy drink is not great for when you're getting ready to go to bed. 2, I feel like it's taking away from the specialness of the morning pour. Not that we won't continue to do something in the evening. I just haven't figured out what that is yet. You know what I mean? I don't want to have too much of a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a treat if you have it every day. And that was kind of the thought process that spawned and created the morning pour, was that I went all week. I used to be a Monster fiend, right? I have empty cans all over the place. There, it's Monster, right? I would drink so much of it, and I realized this is not good for me. I have to cut back. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. So I totally cut back and was only drinking them once a week, and I saved that for Friday's Cybercast IRL, and it became a lot of fun. And I feel like we're taking away a little bit of the special je ne sais quoi, as it were, of the morning pour. So I want to do something different. Get your minds to, if you're not in my Discord, jump on the Discord. There's a whole channel there specifically for discussing the pour. And we can have that conversation about After Dark and what we can fill in and what could be interesting. Crowdsourcing this might be the best way to go. Get you guys' opinions, see what you want to do. Could be a nightcap, as Both in Spy says. Interesting idea. You know what? I'm going to put this on the stream. I just want to see what this looks like. See if we like this. There we go. Now we can all see each other. I like this. This is kind of fun. All right, let me jump into the Q&A here. And I just saw a question. The great thing to do is I hate when that happens. Don't move. There you go. Oh, let's see here. Let's get some questions, though. Let's get some questions. Let me see where I jumped in. I saw a question there. I saw a question there. And as I scroll, you guys can't see the scrolling, but it's super fun. All right, here we go. Now I'm in the weeds here. I know where I'm at. Let's see. Here's our first question. It says, what do you believe is more important, quick recovery or strong security controls? I'm going to go with strong security controls off the dome, right? And here's why. Because if you have strong security controls, you're less likely to need a quick recovery, right? Because the stronger your security defenses are, the less likely it is that you're going to need that quick recovery. And don't get me wrong, we're talking about small minutia increments of importance. And to me, that's just generally probably a better way to go, is if you have a very mature, strong, you're doing all the things, you're threat modeling, you're tabletopping, you're implementing, you're testing, you're auditing, you're doing all the stuff, then the likelihood of having a breach is going to be much, much smaller. The likelihood of finding yourself within some sort of incident, whether that be disaster or security related, is going to be much, much smaller, because you're doing all the things to mitigate that, which reduces the statistical likelihood that those things will occur. Not that they won't occur, not that they can't occur, but there you go. And then, of course, do your best to have quick recovery. But a really interesting question. Good stuff there. It's been a while since I've had to worry about that kind of thing, or I was a part of a team that needed to respond or be on call for those things. So very, very fun. Cool stuff there. Good question. Let's see here. All right, I got more questions here. This one comes from Steve. How long have you been playing guitar? Have you ever been in a band? Yes, I have been in many bands. I have been playing guitar since I was 16, so almost 30 years now. Next year will be 30 years. That's crazy. You know what was funny about that is when I started when I was 16, I quickly became fairly proficient. And everybody's like, oh my goodness, you're so young and you're so young to be this good, blah, blah, blah. And now that I'm older, it's like, oh, that's cool. You play guitar. Right. And plus the skill level of today's youth is insane. We did not have YouTube and Instagram and stuff to compare with each other. You had tab books and, Ultimate Guitar Site and things of that nature. It was crazy. So, yeah, I've been in a few bands. I love playing music. It was a lot of fun. I miss it immensely. The time is there. And I've noticed that a lot of people it's really hard to find a band anymore. I've put it out there a few times and not everybody either wants to be like, they're in their 40s and they're like, I'm going to be a rock star. It's like, I feel like that ship has sailed. I just want to play and have fun. Versus, they either want to be a rock star or they don't want to do anything. Right? There's nobody that just wants to get together and jam and enjoy music for the sake of music anymore, which I miss. So I wish I could find some people in my area. All right, this one comes from Doom Kraken. Is there a disadvantage to disabling TPM when installing Windows, specifically 11? Well, of course, there's a disadvantage of TPMs are there for your benefit, right? They're there to keep your information safer, to store those cryptographic keys in a very secure way. Not that they are impenetrable or anything like that, but it's another layer of defense. There are reasons for you would need to disable the TPM, I'm sure. But if you don't need to, I'm not in the habit of opting out of security unless I absolutely have to. So unless you got a good reason, which do exist, I would leave it on. Cool question, though. Interesting thought process. I'd be interested in hearing, why you're questioning whether or not the TPM should be on. Let's see here. And Jesse Johnson says, agreed. The morning pour is sacred and should be kept that way. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. We will come up with something else. There will be something else. We just got to figure out what that is. Either that be organically or we get together and we figure it out. It'll happen. Let's see here. Moving on. Let's see. We got this one right here. It's this one's from Soulshine. Is it a great time to be a consultant in cybersecurity for business? It's always a great time to be a consultant, right? I have never not known. So I got into IT in the late 90s, right? So 98, 99. Yeah. 98ish, 99 era, somewhere around there. And I remember always being like, so who are these guys from this company? Oh, those are the consultants. I'm like, cool. Then you make friends with them. You start talking with them about stuff. And it's like, oh, y'all living the life. That's what's up right there. Because they were making good money. They were having a lot of fun. They did all the certifications. I mean, that was their job. Their job was to be on top of things. And of course, the more consultancies that they got, the more that they did, the more their experience grew and the more valuable they became. Right. So Don Pizzette worked as a consultant for quite some time. And, we'd pick his brain about being a consultant. And I say it was like me and Wes and Ronnie and all them, and he would always say that the best time to be a consultant was right around holidays. And he goes, I would charge no less than $350 an hour, some crazy number, right? If it was on Christmas, it was $1,000 an hour. He goes, and never failed. Every Christmas, got a call, and someone would go, "We need you. We need the help. Please, please, please come and help us." And he'd be like, "Yeah, no problem. $1,000 an hour." And they would go, "That's ridiculous. We'll never pay it." He goes, "Merry Christmas," and hang up the phone. He goes, invariably they would call back about 2 hours later going, "Okay, so when can you start work on this? We're willing to pay your exorbitant fee." He goes, "It's my Christmas. If you want my Christmas, you got to pay to play, right? If you're willing to pay $1,000 an hour, it's worth it for me to get out there and spend a day or two working on your issue because I'm going to make some serious bank and it was worth it. And we can have Christmas 2 days later." And I was like, that's not a bad thought. So, and you get to make your own hours, you get to move around. People that work as consultants, man, they do really well, at least in my experience, the people that have done that. So, yeah. And you don't have to be corporate level going crazy with Fortune 500 companies. You can consult for your local businesses and you can make either as a side hustle, or if you build a big enough book of business, that could be your main gig, and then parlay that into larger business. See, that's how that works. That's the waterfall effect of like, oh, now I've got experience. I can start hooking bigger clients, and my clients that I have are going to tell their friends and business meetings and business get-togethers, and then you can join like business alliances to let them know that this is the service that I offer. You need security consulting. I'm more than happy to work something up and work out a deal, and then you can build that business. It is definitely a great way to go. It's always a good time to be a consultant for cyber. Great question, Soulshine. Let's see here. This one comes from Roswell, UK. We were talking about stenography earlier. I never feel like I say that correctly. I don't know why. In the week, which leads me to ask you, what's your favorite dinosaur? Did you do my CTF? Because no one solved that, by the way. If you've made it to the GitHub repo, you are not done. Okay? You might be the first person to solve that. There's big spoiler alert because no one ever solved that CTF. Funny. Good for you, though. Good for you. At least you found the dinosaur. Keep going. There's more. Dig deeper. All right, let's see here. Moving on. What do we got? From Gary Jason. Not a tech question. How hot is it in Florida? So right now, what are we? We are mid-September, right? Technically still summertime. It has been actually not too bad lately. The mornings and the evenings have been kind of nice. We've dipped into the 60s. Just at, I think the lowest low I've seen so far is like 67. But we're still peaking in the upper 80s, low 90s in the middle of the day, and the humidity jumps up. The humidity is what makes Florida almost unbearable during certain times because you don't you sweat, but there's no breeze or anything to wick away the sweat that has the cooling effect on your skin. So you're literally like your own tropical depression. You will sweat through your shirt for like at least 6 months out of the year. From the time you open your house door to get to your car and get it running and turn it on, and like you will be engulfed in sweat. So you're just sweating because there's 98% humidity. It's insane here. Every year in the summertime, my wife and I talk about moving because it's like, I'm melting. Oh, why is it so hot? And then we get triple digits in the hottest part of the year. It's insane. So yeah, it gets hot. Christmas time is depressing because it's 85 and raining usually. Let's see here. Moving on. Getting into the questions. We got one here from Gabriel. Gabriel asks, what do you think of the CISO of JLR? Or what do you think the CISO of JLR could have done differently considering it has taken over 3 weeks to restore critical operations? I am not familiar with this. Number 2, should risk management be combined with BCP considering budget? Should risk management, BCP, it seems like it is a part of risk management, right? Because your business continuity plan is going to be specifically designed around the risks that you find to be most risky, right? Like, how do we recover from the most likely risks? That's, you have disaster, but how do we maintain, we're talking business continuity plan, BCP. How do we keep business going when the fecal matter hath hitteth the fanneth, right? What do we do there, and how do we keep that going? So I feel like they are connected. Risk is like connected to just about everything in cyber. It's hard to get away from it. It is the driving force behind what we do, because we have risks to each one of our systems, and we need to be addressing those risks. We need to suss those out. Like, what are the risks? What is the likelihood of said risks? What is the scale of like most likely to least likely? And that's when you get your RAG charts out and you do your RACI matrices and all those other fun things, right? So I'm not familiar with what's going on with the CISO of JLR. Let me go look that up real quick. JLR. What is JLR? CISO JLR recover. Is it a breach or an incident? Oh, Jaguar Land Rover. Gotcha. That's right. Jerry's been talking about this all week. I kind of tune out when it's just like CEO is going to CEO, man. I'm so jaded at this point where I'm like, they're going to do what they're going to do. They literally do not care. I say that I'm using literally too incorrectly, but it has been my experience that CEOs do whatever the heck they feel like, how they feel like it. And yeah, that's what's up. They don't care what you think otherwise. So they come out with PR stuff and they get people to tell them, this is what you say. I used to make this joke when I was on TechNado about anytime we saw a big data breach or something or an incident that occurred, we would just go, let me guess, No PII has been touched. Your passwords are safe. You don't worry. We encrypt everything. It's blah, blah, blah. The attackers only got in. We discovered them quickly. And then the next couple of days would go by, and then they turn over the next page of the We Got Breached playbook and go, well, unfortunately, we did discover that they were able to touch your PII, but it was encrypted. So you don't have to worry about that. And then the next couple of days, they flip the page and it's like, yes, we were using, a homegrown encryption that was easily cracked. But that's neither here. And of course, you get that as like a footnote in somewhere, and it becomes they kind of straggle these things out. So I haven't really paid attention to what's going on with Jaguar Land Rover. Looks like they have significant operational disruption following a cyber attack that forced global production pause. Now extends to at least September 2020, September 24th, 2025, with the company warning that full recovery will take time. Yes, of course it will. The attack attributed to the group's Scattered Spider has severely impacted JLR's manufacturing, retail, and supply chain operations. Yeah, sounds like it sucks. The attack has caused severe disruption to JLR production, with an estimated 1,000 vehicles per day not being manufactured. So that's going to impact them a whole lot more than us. I mean, I don't know how many of you out there are like purchasing Jaguars every day, but I'm not. It's interesting. I mean, this is now taking on a little more interest to me because I haven't had a lot of time to keep my head in the news too much. I've been working on this Pentest Plus course, trying to get that sucker out there for you good folks that you can learn and benefits. But I will look into that more. It's an interesting thing. Where are we at? We got a few minutes left to go. Let's keep rocking and or rolling. Both of them are fun. What is this, Roswell, UK? You are a crazy person. Would you rather be cased by bees or a bear? I'm going bees. Bear just, man, the violence that would occur from a bear attack, get real. Haircut Fish, what's up, Dan? Good to see you. How far are you in DBZ? So we took a break from it a little bit because he's asking about me and my children. We watched the first season of Dragon Ball Z. I have all the seasons on. I thought I had all of them on my Plex, but I'd only uploaded season 1, and then I got busy and things of that nature. So I have to upload the next seasons so that we can continue that effort, which I'll do shortly. I've just been heads down a lot on a lot of stuff. But my kids really enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. Dragon Ball Z is just like too much fun. Moving on. Oh, that's how I do that. I always hit the wrong thing. Okay, this is a question from Ryusek. Wondering if the multi-stage attack from yesterday with the PowerShell and the steganography was targeted at the Apple device patch where it natively ran code in the image handler. I mean, that would be brilliant if that's what they did, if they knew about that and were able to parlay that. I mean, I did hear Jerry talking a bit about this attack yesterday. And he was like, how they get, so basically what happens is with a file, you have open space. Not every bit of space is being taken up. There's free areas. And what you can do is you can use software that allows you like StegHide and StegSnow and all these other different steganography tools that will allow you to put data into that. And honestly, it's funny. Roswell UK was asking me about my favorite dinosaur. Hopefully, I don't think the two are related at all. That my favorite dinosaur was, which one do you think? Right. So anyway, hint again, right? I'm just I might as well just give you the answer at this point. Basically, so you can use steganography to buy, it's difficult to discover. It's got cover media that is hiding it, masking it, obfuscating it from things like EDR and AV, and that's looking for this. And obviously, EDR looks at behavioral analysis. It's more interested in what it's doing rather than what it is. But there are ways around that, of course. And just a simple way to do things is you can just pipe output into the actual file. So grab a JPEG, grab a PNG or something, and just pipe output into it. Like concatenate into the file and see what happens. Then you can, guess what? Your cover media will still be intact. if you have an image and you've just concatenated stuff in there. So that's how that kind of works, that you, or at least one way that it does work, that you can work it. So that's really fun to do, by the way. It's kind of cool to be able to download a picture and watch it run code. Right? Download a PDF and watch it go, oh, look at that. I got a shell. That's bad. So if they were going after specific device vulnerabilities to allow for that code to run, very smart. If there's anything we know about attackers out there, is that they are crafty. Now, you have to give them your hats off to their ingenuity, their ability to manipulate the systems, stay on top of what's going on, write code. I mean, if they could only use their powers for good, we would be like, this world would be, I mean, we'd be colonized Mars by now and looking at Jupiter going, what do you think? We could land on one of those moons? I think we could do it. That's where we can go. Yeah. Remember that cancer thing? That was dumb. Yeah, right. If we would focus our efforts on betterment of mankind instead of just trying to, rob people, we would probably be doing a whole lot better than we are right now. A great question. Very fun. Very fun. Let's see here. Get into some questions. Well, we only got a few more minutes left. So let me find the next question. Moving through. Ooh, from Sean Sailors. What's worse for security? Staying on Windows 10 with no support or disabling the TPM? Probably staying on Windows 10 with no support. That would be me. That's where I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to try to rapid fire these bad boys. Here's one from Baja. We were recently talking about Microsoft letting MS-10 go. For those who have older hardware, do you think switching to other OSs will be more beneficial than paying to extend the service? Yes. Many Linux distributions out there have robust pedigree and maintain updates and things of that nature. That it's just, why not? You can continue to use that and stay current without needing anything from the big Redmond machine. Let's see here. Phil Stafford says it's probably to get Windows 11 on older hardware that doesn't have a TPM. Yeah, I get that. My advice is just go grab some Linux distro and rock it, man. It's going to be awesome. 2 minutes left. I hear a lawnmower showing up. Hopefully it's not coming up on the microphone. All right, what's the fastest way? This comes from Joy Chapota. What's the fastest way to get real-world exposure and experience for a FDE role? I can master the language, pain points and tools of key personas. The FDE, what's FDE off the top of my head, man? I'm horrible with acronyms. Anybody knows me? FDE, acro, not FVD. FDE acronym is numerous fields. The full disk encryption. No, it's not that. Fault detection and exclusion. Probably not that. Force deployment estimator. Yeah. I'm going to need, I don't know what FDE stands for, but if I did, I'd try to answer your question. Looks like we are about to run out of time. Trying to check if anybody knows what FDE is. But man, you guys got to run over to the Cyber Mentors podcast, if I'm not mistaken, as I drop everything on my desk. That is what is coming up next, right? Cybersecurity Mentors podcast. That is what is up. You do not want to miss that, and I do not want to make you late to it. So, yeah, there you go. Everyone, I had a great time today. These were fun questions. I wish I could get to more. I wish we had more time, honestly. I'd do this all day, every day if it paid my bills. Because I do enjoy hanging out with you good folks there. That said, we are done. Run over to the Cybersecurity Mentors podcast. Learn something great, new, and help yourself out. It is a phenomenal resource. Avail yourself of it. Until next time, everyone, stay secure.